to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday, August 24th. I laugh because we're staring at hunting season starting in just a handful of days. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm a little excited about that. I know a lot of you out there are as well, but we got a lot of fishing to talk about between now and through hunting season, and of course, some hunting stuff. You don't think I'm gonna let you get away with not hearing some of that. But today, yeah, we got a good one lined up for you. Lots of great salmon fishing going on right now. Doesn't matter if you're talking about the Columbia system from Astoria up, or if you're talking about along the coast, which of course it did close again on Thursday, but the other estuary options that you have, Tillamook, Garibaldi, well, I guess that's the same, Nehalem, there's just a lot of options, and further south for that matter, a lot of options that are out there. And if you are still chasing tuna, that's certainly something to be concerned with. We'd love to hear from you, though. Call us up on that viewer hotline. It's 503-548-6777. Questions, comments, reports. We've got some time to get some of those calls in today, so don't be shy with calling us up. We'd love to get you in, maybe answer some questions for you, or maybe you can just throw a report out there that might help others. And if you do have a live report, you go to the front of the line. We'll get that call in most of the time ASAP, so don't be shy. If you've been sending photos in here in a minute or two, we're going to start showing you some of those. And it looks like we got a whole bunch, 10 of them today, and a video. So we're going to have those in just a few minutes. Also, this upcoming segment will have all the regular info that you like, fish counts, river levels, and all that. A couple of announcements to throw out there as well. And there's been questions about the kill net schedule on the Columbia, and we did our best this morning to try to find that. It's amazing how difficult. Why? Anyway, but we did find what we at least believe to be accurate. As always, though, and I'm going to make sure to put this disclaimer out there, don't trust the idiot on the other side of the TV screen, and that'd be me. So we're going to give you the numbers that we have, the dates and the times that we have, and hopefully it's correct. Should be. It's online, right? Everything online is accurate. Anyway, also today we got two great interviews. We're going to check in from the very bottom of the system on the Columbia, and then we're going to work our way upriver. But first, we're going to check in with Cameron Black from Gone Catching Guide Service. He's over there, which I would assume he might call his backyard. I'll let him go ahead and talk about that a little bit further away from Astoria than some. But Cameron, no question, easily one of our best guides around here, and really, really good at targeting Chinook, especially this time of year, if not all year. But we're going to find out how things are for him real time this morning. He'll be out there live with clients. And then after that, we're going to check in with our other good friend from Procure. We've got Jason Hamley. He's down in the Astoria area. Oh, there's a good photo of him and Steve. I wonder if Steve's with him this morning. Anyway, they're down there in the Astoria area chasing some salmon. And yeah, it's been pretty darn good this week. There's been some interesting reports. Weather has been playing a pretty big factor. That south wind just doesn't seem to let up. Everybody seems to be complaining about that for good reason. But some damn good bites, really. I mean, a couple reports were, this is the best fishing I've ever seen, and then some of them were struggling. Now, of course, there were some folks that were fishing the saltwater up until Thursday when it did close again. So everything now is back in the river. Silvers, lots of silvers starting to get picked up as well. But anyway, we'll let Jason kind of pitch in where he can with the real-time info from there. Tides aren't great this morning from what I understand, but who knows, might get lucky and see one of those rods fold over. I bet you Cameron gets bit. We'll see. Also, we're going to have the deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine, and if you've been playing around with the idea of new electronics, just wait until we get to it. This is a very, very good deal that's coming up. And of course, all these deals of the week are for all three of their locations. And this is a darn good one. So pay attention here. I'm sorry, I said pay attention. I didn't mean pay attention. It's an inside thing, everyone. Forgive me. Also, we're going to have your Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week. And last weekend, I had kind of, on Sunday, I'd flirted with talking about adjusting wobblers, right? We were talking with Ken from Coldwater Strong. We had mentioned adjusting these things to make sure, tuning them to make sure that they run correctly for however you're fishing, and I was unable to do that on Sunday. So today we're going to do that, and I'm going to piggyback out on that a little bit because there was a couple of questions about different bait options to run on the anchor from here through the rest of our seasons in 4 and 5, meaning zones 4 and 5, or what I like to call the dead zone, right? Now, I was told by a very good friend of mine this week to keep calling it that because apparently he's doing really, really well. So there are some folks that are having a little more success than others in the dead zone. So at the very least, that's all going to change. When we show you our fish counts for this week, how things have changed at Bonneville, it's all about numbers of fish going by and conditions that will make them bite. Because when you have close to 10,000 fish go over a day and only a handful of fish that are checked in or caught, it's pretty typical for summertime fishing. I'm told we have a live report. So this is Mark. He's on the Columbia right now. Ryan, is that correct? All right, we have Mark. He's on the Columbia. Like I said, live reports always go to the front of the line, so I don't mind taking a pause, of course. He's got a live report, and he's by the Dows. Mark, you're in a very different zone than what we typically talk about down here. How's it going for you up there?
It's been okay. We had one that we lost at the boat this morning. We did a couple caught this morning. We're basically right above the Dows dam.
How's the crowd up there? It being, now the end of August, we got decent numbers going over Bonneville. So there's definitely enough fish up there for everybody to get excited about. But how many folks are actually fishing there?
There's only 6 boats, including ourselves.
Yes,
so it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, pretty wide open, and I would expect that will obviously change as things get further into September. Mark, have you fished that fishery for quite a while?
Yeah, for years.
For years, and in this is this,
since I've lived up here.
Is this a typical start for you? That latter part of August when you start seeing enough numbers of fish where you're confident with getting up there and maybe getting bitten a couple of times?
Yeah. Typically, it's toward the end of August and into early September when it gets good for us up here.
How are the conditions for you up there, Mark? River conditions as far as temperature and all that kind of stuff?
So temperature today has actually gone down from last week, so we're only at 69 today. So that's pretty good. Water clarity is really good. Lots of grass, though, of course.
Lots of grass. See, now, we're going to blame it on you guys on the east side because we got a lot of grass down here below. Obviously, it's not because of them, everyone. It is certainly something that you have to be concerned with this time of year. That is just what it is. Well, Mark, tell everybody how you're fishing it. Are you doing anything different than what we might be doing below Bonneville? Or are you guys doing something very similar? How are you fishing, Mark?
360s. I have a chrome one on. My buddy's same thing, 360. He's got a chrome one on. He's running a peak hoochie. I'm running a 3.5 Mexican half. Okay,
very good. So very, very, very similar to what we're using up here, obviously. Do you guys do anything different up there? Do you like to go fast, slow, keep it on the bottom? What do you like to do?
Keep it on the bottom, 1.5, 1.3, 1.5 on the bottom.
And how's the bite been up to now? Now it's the 24th of August. The last week or so, have you had a chance to get out and have any other reports that you can share?
So far, we've heard it's been pretty slow. According to the fish counter, we were out one day last week. We only had one bite, one takedown. That was it. I think we only heard of one fish that was landed that day. The other thing is this has been windier than heck up here forever.
Now, last question, Mark, before I have to cut out. But, and again, thanks for calling and sharing a live report for us from the river itself. We appreciate that. But when things start to turn on, is that further into September, like the middle of September, first week? Is there a timeline that you go, yeah, this is the time that you need to be here?
It's almost more like the numbers over in Bonneville. Once they really start ramping up and get going, then you might as well just go fishing because if you don't go fishing, you're not going to catch them.
Yes, exactly. But you got to go fishing after the show Saturday and Sunday, everyone. So you can, sorry, I'm just being selfish there.
Or just call from the boat.
Mark, we'd love to hear from you again in the future, man, so we can find out how our things are going up above Bonneville, because obviously there's going to be a big change with people starting to make a move heading up that way when they do shut us down, well, supposedly, at least the middle of September. But good luck to you, man. Thank you very much for the report. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day, Alan.
You too. Thanks for sharing, bud. We appreciate that. I love that. Yes, there are options above the dam, everyone. And as things change, It's going to get very interesting up there. Okay, let's go ahead and show you some of the photos that you've all been sending in, and there's been a bunch, so thank you for that. Everyone continue to do so. We go through them as we get them in order at the very least. This is Desmond and Emma from Detroit Lakes. A nice trout right there too, by the way. Nice silver. There's been plenty of silvers getting caught in the river right now. Some folks are starting to get pretty excited about that twitching season, which is not that far away for a lot of different systems. Look at that deliciousness. It's been so long since I've seen one of those so you could take it home. Yeah, there's a bunch of tacos right there. Here's another good one, more silvers it looks like. Grandson's first coho. They're just, yeah, they're not all that big, everyone. But if you're going to talk about Chinook, or excuse me, salmon being delicious, those are the ones. I mean, those are pretty darn good. Summer steelhead, Nancy sent this in. James, well done. It's a nice fish. God, I'd like to get out there and onto the river and chase. I might have to put the pump back on. Although I don't know where I would, well, not a lot of water out there. Yeah, Troy, nice salmon for sure. That sandbank back there looks familiar. Ocean Chinook, this is from Todd. Nice fish for sure. Now that is closed out there, everyone outside of Astoria, that north area, so make sure you pay attention to that. Here you go, the OTC winner. This is from last week, Max Ebb. From what I understand, and this, I got this story from a couple of different sources, okay? I wasn't there. I was here doing my job. But this boat was, Max Ebb is out of Garibaldi, and not one of the big boats. And they won, and one of their fish, if not their winning fish, was a bluefin, everyone. A bluefin, a 30-pound bluefin, from what I was told, two different sources. And that was the big fish that put them over the top for them to win the Oregon Tuna Classic. Pretty darn cool. We actually ate bluefin for the very first time this week. And by the way, I am putting that at the top of the, it was absolutely phenomenal. It's the first time we've ever made it, first time we've ever eaten bluefin, and my daughter and her friend actually enjoyed it as well. I mean, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, now we got a video here coming up as well, but not until we get through this one. Look at that, that's from Ore Angling. Mike sent this in, Pacific City. That's Kyle Dotson from Ore Angling. Guarantee you they had a good time out there. And that was a dandy. This is a dinosaur. Look at that, some crab as well. I guess that's been really picking up. Look at this fish cute shirt. Look at that, fish cute. I haven't seen that forever. I haven't seen that forever. Remember that? We had him here on the show. Oh, God, geez, this is probably a decade ago now. Very cool to see that again. I haven't seen those sweatshirts in a very long time. I got me a pink one somewhere. I got to find it. Here's a video. Yeah, it looks like they're out chasing some salmon.
Nice fish, Kerry.
Oh,
that might be a coho though, but that's a nice fish.
How lucky is that? Yep. That fish just came up and just laid there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a dandy.
Heck yeah, Kerry.
Kerry Chinook, real therapy sport fishing, running fish flash and a spinning fish. Very cool. We love these videos. Send them in. It's easy to do. Fox 12 app, download it, find out their GPS. It'll tell you exactly how to upload your photos and videos, I promise. And if you have trouble, you can always send a message to Ryan, whatever it might be. You can also leave them on our Facebook page. If you're not a member there, join up. It's easy. Lots of ways to follow along, and we love to show you off. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have the field report segment. First things first, I'm going to try to get out the schedule for the non-treaty fishery kill nets on the main stem. Been some issues there as well this week. So stick with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.